Hello to all my artsy friends. Today I'm going to share how to make DIY ornaments the easy way. I saw so many cute Christmas ornaments at Pottery Barn this year, but those prices. These 6 DIY Christmas ornaments, handmade with Dollar Tree items, will save you tons of money and they're so fun to make. So let's get started on the first one. I love birds. They always remind me of my grandma. I have these antique birds from her and they have a prominent spot on my bookshelf over here in my home office. So when I saw this bird ornament from Pottery Barn, I knew I wanted one for myself. I started with this microfiber cloth that I found in the automotive section at Dollar Tree. I roughly drew the outline of the bird body and cut out the 2 sides. I sewed the sides together. Now I'm thinking about getting a small sewing machine. Does anyone have any recommendations for a beginner sewing machine? I think it would come in handy for small projects like this one. Okay, next I flipped the bird inside out and used some stuffing from an old pillow. I wanted him nice and plump, so I made sure to put a lot of stuffing in there. Then I stitched up the hole, and here we have our little bird body. You can find these dot stickers at Dollar Tree. I painted them black with a Sharpie, and I attached them to the bird as its eyes. I had this Dollar Tree garland and cut a piece off for the bird's beak. You could also use part of a stick or break a piece of a skewer off in a triangle. Whatever you have that's in the shape of a small triangle will work for the beak. I love how this bird is mixed materials. It gives him a cute but rustic look. I grabbed a few sticks off of a tree in my front yard and I put those together to make some feet for the bird. Dollar Tree had these pine cones in a small bag and I used them for the bird's wings. I used some of the straight sticks that I gathered to be the feather extending off of his wings. And then the last step is to add the string to his back. The hot glue sticks really well to the microfiber cloth. You just have to hold it there until it dries. And here we have our first ornament. I think it looks pretty close to the original. What do you think? I'm going to show you a list of all the supplies for all 6 ornaments and the price comparisons at the end. Let's go to the next Pottery Barn dupe, this reindeer ornament. So you could do what we did with the bird and sew the body together, but we're going to take a slightly different approach for this one. I'm starting with some floral foam and creating the shape of the reindeer's body and head. This is part of the Heidi Sonboul DIY challenge. I love Heidi's channel. She does some awesome crafts over there, and Heidi is hosting a playlist filled with lots of Christmas inspiration. I will make sure to add Heidi's link and the playlist link in the description box below this video, so make sure to check that out. I keep getting smaller and smaller with the reindeer that I'm making. Some of you may have seen my last Pottery Barn dupes video where I did 2 full-size reindeer. Well, not full size, but they were much bigger than this one. I used a bath mat to make those, but for this small one, we are going to use that same microfiber cloth that we used for the bird. That microfiber cloth is really getting some mileage here. There is no measuring or specific dimensions here. I'm just eyeballing how much cloth I need to cover the foam and then attaching everything together with some hot glue. I wrapped some wooden skewers with twine, and that dollop of hot glue at the bottom is what makes it look like the reindeer's hooves. If this is the first time you're visiting my channel, thank you so much for being here. My name is Maria, and my passion is sharing ways to get creative in your home. I try to make my DIYs as simple and low cost as possible so you can be ultra inspired to make something beautiful for your home. If you love home decor and you're as obsessed with Dollar Tree as I am, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now, and then you'll know when my next video goes up. A few finishing touches with the scarf, because every reindeer out in the wild wears a fancy plaid scarf, right? I poked a hole with my X-Acto knife and then added a bit of glue and pushed the legs into the body of the reindeer. Those antlers are just sticks that I found in my yard. A little pine cone tail, a string for hanging, and there you have it. A reindeer ornament that looks pretty close to the Pottery Barn version and at a fraction of the cost. Are you noticing a trend with the ornaments that I'm copying? They're all pretty neutral in color. Sometimes I switch up the colors that I do for Christmas, and I want to make sure that these are able to go from year to year, no matter what color I choose for my Christmas theme. I loved the look of this acorn with the gold sparkly top. I was laying in bed in the middle of the night thinking of how I would put this acorn together. Yes, my crafts were keeping me up at night. Is that weird? Well, here's what I came up with. I took some floral foam and carved the top and bottom parts of the acorn. I left a divot in the bottom of the top part so that the base of the acorn will fit snugly. I thought the flaky style snow was messy until I tried out this snow that's like little foam spheres. You guys, stay far, far away from this stuff. It made me hate my life for about 20 minutes. It just stuck to everything. It was terrible. So I rinsed off that nasty foam snow from the top of the acorn, and then I just did a little of the iridescent snow over the brown paint. It looks a little different than I intended, but I still got a pretty sparkly acorn like I set out to. Then I attached the two pieces together with some E6000 and hot glue. And here you have a cute little acorn ornament. Here is mine compared to the Pottery Barn one. Next, we're going to make some Mercury glass looking ornaments like these from Pottery Barn. I think they look so elegant, but I do have two cats, so I'm gonna try some plastic ones instead of some glass ones. I started with these clear ornaments that I found from Dollar Tree. They are plastic and they come in two different sizes. I had this mirror finish paint and I was excited I finally have something to use it on. I removed the tops of the ornaments and sprayed directly into the ornament. I even took it to my sink and used a paper towel over the top and shook it up really hard. And then I used a hairdryer to help to start to dry the paint. It will look kind of cloudy until the paint is completely dry, and that's when it'll get that mirror finish. I misted some water and vinegar inside when the paint was still slightly damp, and I shook this around so it had little beads inside. Then I repeated this process, letting it dry, adding more paint, and then more water and vinegar. And I also added a little gold paint in there at one point, just because I wanted more of an antique look rather than all silver. While that dries, I wanted to paint the tops of the ornaments black to look like the ones from Pottery Barn. I reassembled everything, and that completed the whole look. And here is mine compared to the Pottery Barn version. It really made these $1 plastic ornaments look like glass. This ornament is so simple and elegant and reminds me of some of the ornaments that my parents had on their tree when I was growing up. Dollar Tree sells felt in a variety of colors, and we'll be using the white one for this wreath. I started by cutting the shapes out of the felt. I cut a small hole in the pieces of felt and looped them onto the mini wreath ring that I made from some floral wire. I added a few of the mini foam ornaments. These come in a large bag from Dollar Tree. I have used them on so many projects, and I haven't even gotten through the first of the 2 bags that I bought. There's really a lot in there. All that's left to do is add a ribbon. You could go with the red velvet like the Pottery Barn one, or whatever color that you're using for your home decor. And here is mine compared to the Pottery Barn version. We're on the final ornament, and then I'll show you the cost of all the supplies and the price comparison to the Pottery Barn versions. I loved the look of this white berry and pinecone wreath ornament. I knew I could make it with some of the supplies that we already used for the other ornaments. I started by taking this garland. Remember, we used this for the bird's beak earlier. I added some pine cones, some of those white foam berries, and a few of the sticks that I had gathered from outside. I just love the look of how this came out. And here is mine compared to the Pottery Barn version. What do you guys think of this one? Pretty close, right? Okay, so here are all the supplies that I used. A lot of these you may already have at home, like the twine or the ribbon, but it comes out to just a little over $10 depending on what you already have. Plus, I had a lot of leftovers of these materials, so we can use them for other projects. Some of the ornaments were in sets of 3, so I calculated what it would have cost to buy one from the set. And this is the total for 6 Pottery Barn ornaments. So hand making our ornaments cost about 1/6 of the price that it would have been to buy these from Pottery Barn. Plus, being handmade made them even more special. Make sure to subscribe right over here if you want to know when my next DIYs go up. And if you're wanting more holiday inspiration right now, I put together this playlist right over here for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a very happy day.